you'd like to please rise, the opening prayer and pledge.
Father in heaven, bless us today as we gather for this meeting. Guide our minds and hearts so that we will work for the good of our community. Teach us to be generous in our outlook, courageous in the face of difficulty, and wise in our decisions. Thy will be done. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. This being the first meeting in January 2020, I'd like to turn this meeting over to the clerk's office.
May I have a roll call?
All Hancock County Commissioners are present.
We have a quorum.
At this time, I will accept nominations for President of the Hancock County Commission for the calendar year 2020.
Nominate Joe Barnaby as president of the commission.
Are there any other nominations? For the third time, are there any other nominations? Then I hereby declare by acclamation Joe Barnaby as president of the Hancock County Commission for the calendar year 2020. Congratulations, Mr. Barnaby.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, guys. My turn.
Yes. Pro Tem.
Should we call the meeting to order?
President Pro Tem first.
Okay. We need to name a president pro temp today. Are there any nominations for president pro temp?
I nominate Paul Cowie for President Pro Tem.
All right. Are there any other nominations for president pro temp? And for the third time, are there any other nominations for president pro temp? I hereby declare Paul Cowie commission president pro temp for the year 2020. Good? Now we're good. Okay. I'd like to call this meeting of the Hancock County Commission Thursday, January 9th, 2020 to order. We already had our roll call. And approval of the minutes. We have minutes from the special meeting on December the 18th and December the 30th regular meeting. Are there any additions, deletions, or corrections?
Yes, on the December the 18th, it's listed on the paper as the Hancock County met in a emergency meeting. That was not an emergency meeting, that was a special meeting, so I just needed that correction, please.
We have those amended. Stephanie, you take care of that? Okay. With the correction on the December 18th and December 30th, are there any other questions, comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 3-0. Okay, under number 2, government agency presentations. BHJ broadband update. They came here this morning, it's about 9:45, and they presented to the commission their plans for the Brooke Hancock County Regional Broadband Project. I believe that there should be a two-page thing in your, two-page notification in your agenda packet. And we have some single copies sitting there between Mr. Vitus and Julian. What this is an enhancement project that we received a grant for to do a study along with Brooke County. And there will be presentations on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. The ones on Monday are basically for the Hancock County Commissioners early in the morning, and then there's healthcare, public health, social services, and internet providers that afternoon. Then on Tuesday at the Brooke County Courthouse, there'll be a day-long agenda for different people at different times of the day, and that same procedure will be repeated Wednesday in Hancock County, and we've moved ours to the John D. Rockefeller Career Center. And what this is an information thing on what they're planning to do. They're really looking for a survey from anybody that has computers. You can do it online. It's on the first page of the pamphlet. There are going to be some paper surveys that can be filled out, and after Wednesday, we'll see what we can get copies made and make them available in the courthouse or mailed out to people that would like to have them. What they want to do is, just say if you're, take the survey from your house, they can do a speed test on your computer. So if you're due, like, I don't even know all the terminology, 500 megabytes of speed, and that's what you're paying for, but you're only receiving 150, and you know, they can try to work on these projects. Or if you just set it 150 and you need 500, you're in a low-lying area, they just need to know this. Okay, and the only way they'll get a complete survey of what needs to be done is if people take the time to do it. Okay, we've had a lot of their surveys come from school children and school parents where their children aren't able to do a lot of stuff on their computers. So this is a project that's moving forward, and it's going to be very time consuming, but it's going to take public input to get this thing off the ground. There's money out there that's available. How much we receive will probably be depending on how these surveys come back. We'll have more information on this after we attend our part on Monday. So if you'd like to take advantage, grab a paper, go online, pass it to your friends, relatives, anybody that you can. The more that respond, the better it looks when we're looking for money. Is there anything you guys would like to add?
No, nothing at this time.
Mainly encourage citizens of interest to fill out this survey. It's so important that they receive as many of these back as possible. If you don't fill out the survey, there's no way that you'll be included in the process of determining whether your area is eligible to receive broadband. So it's very important that you take time to fill it out.
And one other thing that not too many people look at it this way, but we do, is it's part of infrastructure. You can take care of water, and you can take care of sewers, and you can fix roads and that, and get people in and out. But to have them people stay here, we need to have computers. It's today. That's what this is all about. This is a major part of infrastructure going forward into the future. So. Okay.
Excuse me, Mr. President, before we move on, I believe on the minutes, and that I had made a note as far as a change, but I don't think there was ever a motion to accept those minutes.
Was your correction a motion to accept, or was it with the noted correction, or were you just noting that?
I was just noting the correction on there, so there was never a motion made on there.
Oh, okay, so you may want to make that.
So, yeah,
motion.
so if we can go back to that.
Yes.
So I do make a motion that we accept those minutes with those exceptions.
Okay. Any other questions then? All in favor of accepting meeting minutes from December 18th with the correction and December 30th?
Aye.
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 All opposed? Motion carries 3-0. Thanks, Paul. Citizens' remarks. We have Rudy Rosnick, citizen, Attorney General Office update.
You can take this one down to Tamara. Rudy Rosnick, ROS and ICK. I'm just a citizen of Hancock County. On July 1st, 2016, the Commission refused to renew the animal shelter operation contract with a nonprofit who had operated the county shelter for over a 20-year period. As you know, you immediately requested a legal opinion from the West Virginia Attorney General's office regarding legal rights to a balance of over $360,000 in animal shelter excess levy funds raised on behalf of the nonprofit. In March 2017, the Attorney General provided a legal opinion stating that neither the nonprofit nor the Commission had a legal right to the accumulated funds. He recommended these funds be returned to the taxpayers of Hancock County. A little over a year ago, I addressed the Commission and asked if you had made a decision to return the excess money to the county taxpayers as recommended by the Attorney General. At this December meeting, just by chance, John McCluskey of the State Auditor Office was also there, and he stated that the last time he was in Hancock County was to discuss the animal shelter levy money situation. Then he turned and he asked, then President, of the Commission, Jeff Davis, did you get the issue cleared up? Commission President Davis replied that they were still awaiting direction from the Attorney General's office. When I spoke at the meeting, I made the Commission aware of a discussion I had with Attorney General Morrissey in September 2018 regarding the excess levy legal opinion document. Morrissey stated he owed the Commission no further information. He had issued the requested legal opinion, and thus his office had closed the issue. I asked him if the commission spending of about $60,000 of the accumulated funds after the shelter takeover was legal. I specifically asked him, how can a commission, spend funds that they have no legal rights to? He said no one had asked him for his opinion on that issue, and it would be best answered by our local circuit court. At the end of the commission meeting, Mr. Davis stated, maybe the commission needs to look at another direction as for the use of those funds. You can go back and see the video, on, I think it's December 13th or 14th of 18, if you want to verify all this. Having heard nothing regarding the return of the excess levy funds to the public, as recommended by the Attorney General, I contacted the Attorney General's office on June 13th of last year to inquire if anyone in Hancock County had contacted them and what is the status of the office providing further information related to the excess levy money. Later that day, Assistant Attorney General Stephen Travis, returned my phone call. He informed me that he had asked his office colleagues if any of them had been contacted by Hancock County regarding the animal shelter excess levy issue. He said no one from their office had been contacted on this issue for a couple years. He also re-emphasized they don't owe Hancock County Commission any information on this. They consider it a local issue. Can the Commission provide an update to the residents of Hancock County regarding any plan for the $300,000 that the Attorney General recommended be returned to the taxpayers? If your answer is no, is it reasonable to expect that the Commission tell the residents of Hancock County what it intends to do with this money by the end of March, which would be the third anniversary since Mr. Morrissey, issued his legal opinion? Any response?
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have nothing on the correspondence, no tabled items, old business. New business. Consideration of approval of 2020 Personnel Committee appointments. Is there a motion to approve the Personnel Committee appointments as presented?
Move to approve.
Questions? Comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0. Consideration to apply for West Virginia Department of Agriculture fiscal year 2020 spay neuter grant.
Move to approve.
Questions or comments? We received this grant last year, right?
Yes, sir.
And utilized as much as we could in the time frame that we had. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0.
Is there a motion on that, Mr. President? Who made the motion on the neuter grant to accept?
I did.
Okay.
Item number 3 was consideration to approve an early voting in-person satellite precinct. Since this was on the agenda, we left it there, but we've come to learn today that this isn't going to be what we expected it to be. So I'm going to ask that we just disregard item number 3. And for those that would like to know, our early voting in the last election overwhelmed our lobby in the courthouse. And we were going to attempt to have a satellite voting place close to the courthouse. Without it being one of our properties, we would have to hold the satellite voting at the place of interest and continue to hold it in a courthouse, which was going to defeat the purpose of moving it to a satellite place. So we will not need to apply for that, but we are going to work on trying to eliminate the congestion in the foyer. We've had a couple plans we discussed today, and I think we can move forward and still have it here and try to get the people in and out a little bit better. Any other comments, questions on it?
No.
And thank you to the clerk's office and the elections office for the efforts made. Consideration of approval for an internal budget revision 1920. Karen?
Yes, sir. This is, again, just moving money within the elected officials' budgets. It's no change in the overall.
Move to approve.
Questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0. And number 5, consideration of approval of general county budget revision fiscal year 2019-2020.
I'm respectfully requesting that you table that until the next meeting so that we can review some additional information.
Move that the item be tabled.
Questions, comments? All those in favor of tabling item 5?
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0. Office of Technology Communication. Mr. Vitus?
We were successful in getting another West Virginia Courthouse Improvement Facilities grant, and what we would like to do is advertise for a contractor to get, so we can get an early start on fixing the elevator. That sometimes leaves you with about a 2-inch jump out of there, so we'd like to get started on this as soon as we can.
Is there a motion to approve to advertise for a contractor to upgrade the courthouse elevator?
Move to approve.
Questions? Comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0. The dog warden, consideration of approval for the December in and out report. 194 animals in, 163 animals out. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0. Finance. Approval of probates and estates.
They've been reviewed and are recommended for approval as to form.
Totals 13 on that. Is there a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Questions? Comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0. Approval of exoneration orders. We have one. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
County Commission travel. What do we have?
Yes, sir, Commissioner Davis has travel.
Being it's a personal matter, dealing with the reimbursement of my travel, I need to recuse myself and step out of the room. Okay.
The travel reimbursement is for $398.75.
Is there a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 2-0. One removal.
Mr. Davis?
Do this again. Sorry. Approval of general county bills.
General county bills are $88,838.49. P-card payments for all funds, $23,484.98.
Is there a motion to pay the bills?
Move to approve.
Questions? Comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0. Approval of animal shelter levy fund bills and requisitions.
They're okay to pay.
Motion to approve.
So moved.
Questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0. Approval of library levy fund bills and requisitions.
All three submitted and they are okay to pay.
Motion to approve.
Move to approve.
Questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0. And approval of sheltered workshop levy fund bills and requisitions.
2 requisitions and they're okay to pay.
Motion to approve.
Move to approve.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0. Go to the order. You went first last week, right? Karen?
Nothing today.
Mr. Lucas?
Well, today happens to be National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day, and I'm sure Sheriff Fletcher would appreciate a hug from everybody here and everybody he runs into. But in all seriousness,
Are you serious?
not from me, from everybody else. It is Law Enforcement Appreciation Day, so thank you to all the law enforcement, in particular our sheriff, our deputies, and all the officers of our local municipalities who work very hard to run into situations that the rest of us run from. So thank you.
Mr. Vitus?
I would just like to congratulate you and Mr. Cowie for your appointments for the upcoming year.
Carol? You ducking me?
Yeah, no, I'm not trying to. Just very happy New Year to everyone, and we're getting started, getting ready for our summer programs, believe it or not, already. So, updates in the future.
Okay, thank you. Jeremy?
I don't have anything today.
All good at the 911 center?
I'm working good.
Good. Mr. Wright?
Next Tuesday and Wednesday, we will be handling the January term of the grand jury. So there'll be increased traffic up here at least one day. And then on the 23rd will be docket day. The 23rd will be docket day, and that's going to need to be more people out there. That's all the people that get indicted are here to get their trial and pre-trial dates. So just giving everybody a heads up.
The 14th and the 15th. Do we need to make arrangements for parking like we did last time? I believe
I
Mr.
don't think
Vitus
it's
did
gonna
some
be that
shuttling.
bad, really, because when you bring a pool of jurors in for the grand jury, it takes a couple of hours, and we weeded them out to about 16, so that's manageable. But initially, there's going to be more traffic out there than storms. So that's all you got to worry about there. And on the 23rd, there's all the lawyers and the indictees, shall we say, show up in the morning, get their dates. So.
Sheriff Fletcher?
I didn't have anything, but with recognition from Mr. Lewis, I advise everybody I'll be blocking the door, waiting for my hugs, as you all leave this particular meeting.
We'll get Harry to get his camera down fast, the people can exit through the rear door then. Save yourself some agony. Valerie from the clerk's office?
Nothing else to do.
George?
I talked to him today. He sounds really good. He's using his cane, and he went to see his therapist today.
Good, good. Commissioner Cowie?
Again, I want to thank all our law enforcement. You guys do a great job. I really appreciate everything you do. Thank you.
Mr. Davis?
Same thing. Thanks, Sheriff. Thanks to all the deputies and the local policemen that look after us every day. That's all, Mr. President.
And I'll echo that sentiment. Thank you for your job, the leader, and on down the line to the chain. I learned a couple things the other day when I was down there talking to you about the Narcan, how valuable it is, not just to the public, but to our officers, and including the
product, but
trained animals.
it's tough.
Yeah, something I never thought of, that they can come and contact that and need it themselves. And I totally understand what you were trying to explain to us. So appreciate that, and appreciate everything that the officers do to keep us safe, sound, happy, and prosperous.
Thank you very much. I don't know how much prosperous we can get for you, but
We're working on it. We're working on it. Like I said, a quick reminder, if you take a copy of this, pass it on to anybody that you guys available. This is a huge help for what they're trying to accomplish. This all through the Brooke Hancock Jefferson Metropolitan Planning Commission. Our next meeting will be January 23rd at 2:30 p.m. here in the courthouse. Anything else? Without that, no further business come before the commission. I declare this meeting adjourned. Thank you all.